I have a guest here today. A lot of you have no idea whatsoever who this person is, but I think it's important to say that without the special people behind the cameras, Jacob's one of them, Sylvie's one of them. Shout out Chris, he's not here, he's back home in Jersey. Without the dope people behind the camera, you guys wouldn't see the content that you see of me. You wouldn't see videos. You wouldn't have the nice edits. You wouldn't have the photos, all the cool shit. So I was just like, fuck it today. Before we go to Miami, I was like, yo, I just want to have Jacob, my videographer, Jacob Bonilla. That's his name. Some of you guys probably know, cause you watch the videos, you know that he's behind the camera, like talking shit here and there. I don't
really pop my head in there too much, but I talk shit behind the camera.
Yeah, you talk shit a little bit. It's good though. It's a good dynamic. And I'm gonna say first and foremost before we get into this, Jacob's out of all the video, and I've been doing this shit for, I mean, hopefully you guys know if you've been watching my shit for years, for like almost 10 fucking years on the internet and shit, maybe 11 making content. I know 8 years shooting YouTube videos, and Jacob's probably the first videographer that I've met that like we kind of get each other a little bit on the creative level. And I know that's so important. Like, just for you guys out here listening, watching this, before we get into this, if you guys want to do something on social media, like, you need to find someone who is talented and someone who not only is talented, but also cares about what they're doing. Cause you
have to have like a good dynamic. Cause like if I didn't like understand like the personality, like at first it was really hard when we first started working together. Cause I had no idea who I mean, I kind of like watch your stuff.
Well, now hold on.
But it was like,
hold
on. I didn't know who you are. I knew who you were, but like, it's weird because when you start working with someone you don't really know them, like on a personal level. Like now we get like, you know, like we fuck around, we have like the same personality, and like we just talk shit behind the camera. You like, you know, we just vibe off each other. Yeah. So like understanding that, like you guys can make better content that way.
For sure. I think it's funny too. I mean, why don't you tell the story when you first met me? I think the story is hilarious.
The very, very first time ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're throwing it back like way, way, way back. So when I was a kid, I was a super fat kid. So I used to watch a lot of fitness stuff, and obviously Brad, being a fitness influencer, I used to watch all of his YouTube videos way back in the day. And I went to his gym with a couple of friends, and I remember it was like the first time I had never met you in my life, bro.
Yeah.
I walk into his gym, and like, you know, when you're a fan, I'm kind of fanboying, and I see Brad outside the gym. I go in there, and I'm like, hey, bro, like, because I wanted to do YouTube when I was a kid. So I went in there. I'm like, yo, dude, like, can I ask you a super quick question? Like, I know that you're a YouTuber. How do you stay consistent? And, like, how do you stand out? And he didn't even say anything to me. He just, bro, I shit you not. Bro, you just stared straight at me. And he just was like, didn't say a word. And I was like, okay. Like, I look at my friends. I'm like,
I find this hard to believe.
I swear to God, bro, I can't make this shit up.
It's still so funny.
I literally cannot make this shit up. And so, like, I go up to him. He doesn't answer me. So I look at my friends. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to go work
Did I have
out.
my headphones in?
No, dude.
Wow,
you were just sitting on your phone like how you do now.
Oh, I must have been on the phone.
And I think you were just in a shitty mood, bro.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, so I go to work out. I come back, and I'm, like, walking out the door. And then Brad, like, waves me over. Like, I'm about to walk out the door. And he's like, all right, you know, I think he felt bad maybe because you were being a dick to me.
Yeah,
I have no idea. But it was really funny. It was hilarious.
There's definitely certain times when I'm like, you know, I mean, now you see it because now you're on the other side.
Yeah, because like I didn't know.
Right.
And like, when you're a kid, you're just like, I just want to go talk to this guy.
Of course,
you know?
of course. Now you have a different perspective because you've seen both sides of it.
Yeah, because you'll be like working or doing something.
So I know that I know that I was, because I've done this many times where like I'm doing something, I'll tell someone, yo, give me a minute or give me a second. And then I'll go get them later and I'll be like, I'll do the same thing where I'll see them on the way out and I'll be like, yo, before you dip, like, let me get a...
Yeah, let me talk to you real quick.
Yeah, like, but before we keep talking about this, tell them what I said, what you talked about with me.
Oh, I said, how do you like stand out? Anyway, like he grabbed me over by the time I was leaving, but we ended up having a conversation, and I remember I was like, how do you stand out from like everyone else? Like, how can I do YouTube? And he was like, well, the fact that you have to ask me that question says a lot. And I remember that, and I never forgot that. Like, I remember from that moment. And I wanted to do YouTube videos. I kind of just like, I put my camera down for a solid 2 years and I didn't even pick it up because it hit me in my head so hard. I was like, damn, why do I actually want to make YouTube videos? And it was, at the time I just wanted to get famous. Yeah. And I told you that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I just want to entertain people and like, you know, get famous. And he was like, oh, well, that's not a good enough reason. And it was just like, it knocked me so off guard that I just didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
But after that, like you kind of like really talked about like, the true meaning of making content or doing things and having a purpose. And I was like, oh shit, even though I put down my camera for 2 years, I'm in a position now where I can like, you know, create stuff for like bigger YouTubers, which is dope. Like the fact that we're working together is pretty dope. So
yeah, it's just an interesting story, like how it all comes full circle. And I've had this conversation, just people listening, I've had this conversation with so many kids, like not just you, like this same exact thing where they're like, yo, I want to do social media. And like, I'm like, why? I've had this conversations, you know, you've even been there where I've had conversations. And
yeah,
people
it's funny. You'll call me over. You're like, hey, Jacob, how many times have I got asked this question?
Yeah. And even it's funny because it's the first time we met. And here's the truth, guys. It's if someone goes, and if this is your mentality, it's not enough to be like, oh, I just want to be famous, or I just want to make money on the internet, and like it looks cool. Like, yes, I understand that it looks cool. Like it looks fun. And it is really fun. It's still a lot of work at times, but the thing is this, if you go into something and like your sole focus is like, I just want to be famous, or I just want to make money, you're already starting off on like a really
bad foot.
It's
not a good foot. Yeah.
Because the thing that I was trying to get to you, and the thing that I tell every kid who asks me the same question is like, it has to be more than just I want to because someone else is doing it or because I want to be popular. Like you have to have a meaning behind why you're doing it.
Yeah, because then it'll take you further. Like if you're just chasing like, you know, cosmetic things or materialistic things, it's like that only takes you so far, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but it's as simple as this. Like if you were like, the reason why I want to do this, and it's something you could draw directly to yourself that it really means something to you beyond just like making money or being famous, because that's, at some point that means absolutely nothing, right? Like the true meaning, like for me, is very direct. I want to be a father figure for people because I grew up without a father figure, right? And then when I started realizing, oh shit, this is actually happening because of the type of content or the types of conversation that I would have, that's when I was like, whoa, I love this. And I'm trying to tell you guys who are starting up or who are doing this, you don't always know right away, right? And that's why I always tell people, like, just start doing things you think you enjoy, things you're passionate about, things when you do, you're like, yo, I really love this. And that's the message I always try to tell anyone, because if you come at something straight up and you're just like, I just want to make money, and like, again, I just want to be famous, and there's no reason why. There has to be a deeper reason why. Like everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants money. Everyone wants happiness.
Everyone wants to do the same shit.
But it's like, why is it important to you? And I always ask the same question. People will go, well, I want to entertain people, right? And I'll say, why? And they'll be like, because I like to make people laugh. And I'm like, why? And they'll be like, oh, I don't. It's like, I didn't think that far.
They don't really know.
So it's like, did you pick something because you just thought, oh, it looks cool? And listen, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But to get to a certain level where like most people, I feel like they want to attain that level, it has to really mean something. Like I said, for me, I could say this is exactly why. And I didn't realize it right away. And I was just kind of doing stuff that, like I said, and I'm telling you guys and encouraging you guys, I did things right away that I just enjoyed and I felt fulfilled doing. And then I was like, over time, people were like, oh, I like this. I like when you talk about this. I like when you, and then I got this like feedback, right? But I'm just saying, don't go into something being like, I want money, I want fame.
Yeah, because I always
gotta have a reason.
Yeah, like I always like talked about it with like any of my friends or family. Like I always say, like, whenever you meet someone, just be genuine. Like be yourself, man. Like do your own thing, you know, because you can only fake being genuine for so long.
Yeah.
And like chasing like materialistic things and like just wanting to be famous, it won't work. So just like if you chase a true purpose and just be a genuine person, like I think that'll take you further, because then you can actually sustain that. You can't be like fake and follow that for like ever. There's no way, dude. You're not gonna get to a level where you want to be like really good at something.
I mean, it's superficial. It's like,
it's just not possible.
If you're basing your actions off of like something that you think people want because you see it being successful for someone else, then it's not, your intentions aren't true in why you do it. They're just like, oh, it works for him, it can work for me, I'll copy this format, right?
Exactly, yeah.
There's like carbon copies of everyone, specifically now on the internet and social media. In the fitness space, it's just carbon copy after carbon copy. And like, it is what it is, it's okay, but the people who will truly genuinely stand out will always be the people who are like, this is who I am, and this is why this matters to me, and this is what's important to me, and this is what makes me sad, and this is what makes me happy. And I truly believe in every industry, those are the people who are going to be truly successful, who are just more unapologetically themselves, and who do it because like the thing they're doing, it actually starts to mean something to them beyond just more money, more fame. So that's the thing I've always talked to so many kids about. It's the most asked question that I get in person.
Yeah, no, I like literally hear it every single fucking day. Every time we're at the gym,
so
someone comes
I just
up
think
and
it's funny now. Your initial interaction with me was like, it looked like I was a dick to you.
Yeah.
And now you're in a position where you see, you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because I don't think a lot of people can actually say that. It's kind of funny how it works. It just fast forward like 5-6 years, and now it's working